This is the bit everybody's been waiting for and I've been dreading for about 6 months. Oh, yeah. No. Don't put me off yet. Good afternoon. For those that don't know me, I'm Paul, proud father of the bride. Proud? Proud father.
Stand up.
Yeah. You,
We can still see you hiding.
I didn't expect barracking from my own family. You'll be pleased to know that I can't tell a joke and I don't do soppy, so this speech will be rather short. Google search suggests the best father of the speech shouldn't be no longer than 10 minutes. On behalf of all the families, I'd say thank you for coming, and I hope you're enjoying the day. A big thanks to all that made this day possible, and particularly to Paul's nan for lending us a house and a garden. Holly has been dreading this next bit, and I'm under strict instructions from her mother to keep it quick and clean. There are some stories I'm not allowed to tell. An early morning trip to Leeds, the jippy tummy accident in the hotel lobby, or why she's missing off the school camp video. The girls there know that, the reason for that. It's customary on these occasions to tell a couple of stories from when she was a little girl. The first is when she was about, I said 4 years old, but my wife said it was 7 or 8 or 10 or 12. And we were on holiday in the Forest of Dean. We decided to rent some bikes and go around the forest. There were 2 tracks, a 5-mile track and a 15-mile track. We'd try the 5-mile track. It was late in the afternoon, and as the storm clouds gathered and it started to get dark, I realised we were actually on the 15-mile track. A long way for a little girl and a mummy. Holly's little legs were going 50 to the dozen on the bike. Her face was red and she was sweating. I was telling her to hurry up, pedal harder. The rain was coming and it was getting dark. I was going to tell her the forest monster would get her, but that would have frightened me. She was complaining, getting tired. I was hurrying up, come on, come on. Eventually she stopped, threw her bike on the ground, put her hands on each side and said, "That's it, I'm going nowhere, I'm knackered." Holly had had enough. I need a quick drink. Water. Yeah, vodka. The second story is a little later on the year after. I was working away, and it was probably the first and last time she said she missed me when I'd been away. I sat and told her that whilst I was in Sweden out for dinner, I'd decided to eat snails like the French people did. She said, "Did they have their shells on?" "No," I replied. "Yuck," she said, deadly serious. "Dad, they're not snails, they're slugs, and that's gross." Good memories, and it seems like only yesterday. Here we are 20 years later, and look how she Don't get me going, Holt. Holly's determined, knows her own mind. I'm going to go. Is impatient like me and thoughtful like a mother. Count to 10. She's a good daughter, never been any trouble. She's caring and grown into a fine young lady. Stop it. She would be shocked to hear me say that. And my voice is going.
Have another drink, Paul.
I think I need one. I'm going to have this one this time.
I told you to drink vodka.
Yeah. Right. For some time we thought that Holly had found a new friend. She suddenly started going surfing and running. She went running once. She got to the top of the hill in all her new kit and decided running wasn't her sport. We knew though there was somebody new in her life. It took some time for Paul to be introduced to us. I don't think meeting the in-laws for tea is necessarily his favourite thing. As time moved on, we started to see a bit more of him, and we got to know him a little more. Don't cry, Paul, at this bit. He started to refer to his future mother-in-law as Moosey, her pet name, and he also started to take the mickey out of me, saying, "You're joking, aren't you?" Page 3. One of my favourite expressions. That was a bit bad timing, sorry. One night when Holly was out with her mother, there was an unexpected knock on the door, and it was Paul. He came in when we started chatting. I thought, this is a bit strange. Paul never does this. And he looked a little nervous. Then I thought, he's going to tell me Holly is pregnant and she didn't tell me. There had been lots of surfing weekends in the van. After a couple of minutes, he got around to ask me if it was okay for Holly and him to get married and what I thought about it. For a split second, I was going to say, "You're joking, aren't you?" but decided best to be serious. I thought it was nice he'd asked me, and of course I thought it was a good idea. I'd been trying to get rid of Holly for ages. And so the journey to today began. The girls had their hen do in Edinburgh, and the stag night was set for Poznan, Poland. Wait for this bit. Historic capital of Greater Poland and famous for its cathedral and priceless 19th century organ. Oh, and beer was £1 a pint. The more likely reason to go. What goes on in Poland stays in Poland. But I can share a little story from the plane before we left the UK. I got sat next to 3 of Paul's mates who I'd never met before, and they had never met me. As we took off, I could hear all sorts of stories about Paul's drinking every night in the house, Jack Daniels, vodka, beer, the empty bottles found lying around, not going a day without a drink, how badly he treats Holly, and how fed up she was with it. All sorts of yarns and stories. I took it in all at first. I took it in all in at first. I decided not to say anything, but was more than a little worried what my poor daughter was letting herself in for.
Sorry now, you're making me feel bad.
Well, the guys know who they are, must have known I heard all this, but I kept quiet, pretending to sleep. Paul had said to me that I shouldn't believe a word of what his mates say.
As you know now.
Yeah. Following 3 very, 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 very long nights on the beer, when we got back on the plane, I sat next to the same 3 pals. As we took off, I turned to one of them and said, "Yep, I think you're right, Paul did have a drink problem." And I thought they did too, and all the other lads too. Anyway, we're very pleased to welcome Paul into the family. Not only do we gain a son-in-law, but a ready-made handyman to sort out all my bodge jobs and do all the high jobs that us small people in the house can't reach. I'm pleased to say that's me done, and I'm just about ready for a drink. I finish with the following piece of advice for the groom from Groucho Marx. The husband who wants a happy marriage should learn to keep his mouth shut and his wallet open. That's something I learnt a long time ago. Once again, thank you all for coming. Enjoy the rest of the day. Can I ask you please to stand? Raise your glasses. I assume I do this bit. That's me, is it? Yeah. And to toast the bride and groom.